In 1942, the most beautiful woman in the world bent over a drafting table, sketching a weapon by hand. Not a film script, a guidance system for a torpedo. The studio sold her face to the world. They had no idea what was behind it. Her name was Hedy Lamarr, and the idea on that page would echo, decades later, inside the phone in your hand. The era, the 1920s. A curious girl named Hedwig Kiesler took machines apart just to see how they worked. But the world only ever looked at her face. By 19, she was a Philistine known across Europe. Her fame caught the eye of Friedrich Mandl, one of the richest arms dealers in Austria. He married her, then closed the cage. A trucking wife, paraded at his dinners, rarely allowed to leave his side. At those dinners sat generals and engineers, trading talk of weapons and radio-controlled torpedoes. Mandl assumed his beautiful wife understood none of it. She absorbed far more than anyone guessed. The marriage was a gilded prison, and Hedy was suffocating inside it. But on one account, disguised as her own maid, she slipped out the door one night and never went back. She ran to Paris, then to London, carrying little more than her nerve. In London, she crossed paths with Louis B. Mayer, the most powerful man in Hollywood. He offered her a contract and a new name. Hedy Lamarr was born, and one cage quietly became another. America fell in love. The posters crowned her the most beautiful woman in the world. But every role was the same. Stand there, look lovely, and say almost nothing. "A girl can look glamorous," she once said. "All you have to do is stand still and look stupid." So she invented in private. At home, where a vanity should have been, she kept a drafting table. Then the war reached across the ocean. Nazi U-boats were sinking ships crowded with refugees and children. Hedy had listened at Mandl's table. She understood how the enemy's weapons actually worked. The Allies had radio-guided torpedoes, but they shared a fatal flaw. The enemy could jam the signal and send them off course. Hedy saw the answer. What if the signal never stayed in one place? What if the transmitter and the torpedo leapt between radio frequencies together, in perfect sync? A jammer can block one frequency. It cannot block a signal that is always moving. But keeping both sides hopping in lockstep was the hard part. For that, she found an unlikely partner. George Antheil, an avant-garde composer who had once made 16-player pianos perform as one. His secret was the player piano roll, punched paper that kept every instrument in perfect time. They borrowed that very idea, a ribbon of paper to make transmitter and torpedo hop together across 88 frequencies. 88, the same number as the keys on piano. In 1942, the patent was granted. They called it a secret communication system. Hedy carried it to the U.S. Navy, hoping to help win the war. The Navy looked at the movie star and looked away. Too bulky to fit inside a torpedo, they decided. The idea was shelved. And others decided there was a better use for a famous face. Go sell war bonds, they told her. So she did. And at rally after rally, she turned the public's gaze into money for the war, even staging kisses to drive the bids. Her invention, meanwhile, sat in a drawer. The patent quietly expired before anyone grasped what she had handed them. By the time the military world caught up, the patent was dead. The idea had survived. Her credit had not. Decades later, engineers reopened the same principle. Frequency hopping became a foundation of secure wireless communication. It echoes through the tech you use every day, the cleanest ancestor of Bluetooth, and a cousin of the signals behind Wi-Fi and GPS. Hedy Lamarr never earned a single cent from the patent that helped shape the connected world. For most of her life, no one even knew. She was just a pretty face from old movies. In 1997, the Electronic Frontier Foundation finally honored her and Antheil. She was 82. Her reported reply was 3 words. It's about time. 3 years later, she was gone, still remembered for her face instead of her mind. So here's the question her story leaves behind. How many people changed the future while history was busy looking somewhere else?